you better answer now. Yeah.
All right. So my next complaint, and one of the things that I really don't like about the FRS, is one I've actually done a vlog on. It's, what is this car compared to? What can you do with the money, especially compared to the brand new price of this car? Here's my advice. Unless you're getting a lease, this car is not made to increase in value. This is not a financial investment that you park in your garage and hope in 10 or 15 years it's going to be worth something more. Maybe in 25 years, 30 years, those of us who were around in the 70s and had 240Zs, yeah, if I saved that car for 30 years, it would be worth more money now. Give me a break. This car is a driver's car. It's not meant to break the bank. It's not a supercar. This car that I'm driving right now, I've talked about this before. It's a 2013. When I bought it, it had less than 8,000 miles on it for right around $20,000 Canadian. For you Americans, if you do the exchange rate right now, man, our dollar is brutal. So if you put that in US dollars, you're probably looking around $15,000. So that's pretty crazy. People say, oh, should I compare this to, should I compare this to a used Cayman? I even said that. When we compare used versus used, this car is the best value sports car of any car. And while I'm on it, everyone who complains about, it's 200 horsepower, stock, it's got slippery wheels, all this stuff. I look back at your accounts, you guys, on your YouTube, and a lot of you are like gamers, and you're like sitting at home trying to rack up F1 points on Grand Prix. I don't know, maybe you're drifting your car on Horizon. I love those games, but really, if you're a young guy and you talk about you can't afford a sports car, almost everyone can afford this sports car. Get one that's 3 years old. I pay $150 every 2 weeks. Who can't afford that? Damn, when I was a teenager, even into my 20s, I was spending more on that on booze and like beer and drinks every week. I should have been driving one of these, not a turbo diesel Volkswagen Rabbit. For the money, compare this to anything, especially the 2+2. I've got a back seat, I've got a trunk. People talk about, oh, you can put stuff in for track day. I've actually put 4 wheels in the back of this, and they fit with rubber and a jack. This is, without a doubt, the best car for this money. All right, here's the one thing. I know I said I wasn't going to do these in any particular order, but one thing that really drives me about owning an FRS, this whole thing about power and is it fast, is it not fast? Well, hopefully my wife is not watching, because I've got about $800 to say that it's fast enough to get me in trouble. And please pull me over. The photo radar ticket in the mail, I don't know how many I've got, probably 5 or 6, I don't know. It's only been 5 months. I've already got a ticket at least for every month. And people keep saying, it's too slow, how can you drive this car? Oh, it's not even fast enough to drive in the city. Dude, I drive this car faster than anyone on the road. Maybe I can't take everyone off the light. That's not the point. When you're on the road and you're driving fast, this car is plenty fast. I've had more tickets than I've ever had in my life. It's a fast car. But you know what? It's like any car. It's not about how fast it is on paper. It's not about horsepower or how many torques versus weight. And for all you guys who love these stats, honestly, get out your calculator, do the torque to weight ratio. That's what makes a car go fast. If you got a 3,500 pound 350 or 370Z, and you know, you have this 300 horsepower, you think that's fast. You got to lose 800 pounds to be as light as this car. So anyhow, it's as fast as I want it to be, and I'm hitting a 50 zone right now. It's a lot faster than you need most of the time. End of story. So another issue I have with the FRS, and this one's had a lot of press, especially from, anyway, I can name some names, but I'm not going to do that. Because you all know who these people are that keeps, even though they've gotten rid of their FRSs already, they keep making vlogs about how they didn't like the FRS. Shut up already. Alright, now that I've got that off my chest. People keep complaining about how there's not enough technology. Technology. I want more buttons. Do you know how many buttons I have on my steering wheel? 0. That is a race car. You know, unless you're an F1 driver, what do you want on this car? I don't want extra radios. I don't want extra... I've already got touchpad everything. I don't want split heat controls. I've only got one seat beside me and 2 little tiny seats in the back that only my 6-year-old fits in. All of that stuff, when I get inside, you know, honestly, when I get inside a new Subaru and there's buttons everywhere, I just want to rip all that shit out. Every classic race car and anyone building a track car knows the first thing you do is you strip all that stuff out. One of my favorite little dream cars right now is the 911R, and looks very classic. You know, the last time they made an R was many years ago. Most of you probably aren't old enough to remember. They didn't even put in a radio. It only comes in a manual. It's got a couple of tricks that, yeah, you know, rev matching and, you know, a little bit of stability control, but all that stuff is standard. And you know what I do with all that stuff in the FRS? I've got VSC, I've got sport mode, I've got paddle shifters, I've got all this stuff. The first thing I do when I get in and I drive this car, even right now, I'm driving in traffic, I'm driving at a normal speed. I've put it in sport mode, in manual mode, of course. I've got the VSC Sport on because I want every possible thing in this car turned off. Technology? No. This car and every sports car is about the car and the driver. Not about what the car can do, it's about what you can do. No, thank you. Here's another one. And this really pisses me off about the FRS. Even FRS owners, they sit back and I don't know where they live or what they do with these cars. Maybe they only keep them in their garage. They make these vlogs about how it chirps, it whistles, it makes these sounds. There's a creak in my trunk. It gets dirty too easy. My God, it gets dirty too easy? What the fuck? Listen to this. Almost all the time I'm driving between, you know, 4,500 to 7,000 RPM. Do you think I could hear a chirp in my trunk? Give me a break. You know, the other thing with this too is I got to shift into another gear so I can even hear myself. All the things about the interior quality, you know, you guys need to drop back and look at any car from the 70s. All these cars that they keep saying, hey, these are classic, these are the best sports cars ever. The construction and the build on those cars, man, everything was shoddy. Door handles came off, you know, there was no electronics. The turn knob for your window would flop off. Antennas were always gone. All those cool little plastic things that, you know, were on Celica's and 240s. You know, the big Z that goes on the back quarter panel. They all fell off. The build quality on any car right now, including an FRS or BRZ while I'm at it, is so much better than sports cars in the past. And like I said, who are these people? Drive your car. So here is probably one of the funnier things that, you know, I really hate about the FRS. is picking up the kids at school. So if there's any moms and dads out there, you know, middle-aged guys, people with young kids driving up in sports cars to pick up their kids at school, you should see the looks. Man, like the looks are, I don't know if I could put them in categories. The moms, well, you probably know what they're thinking. Either you're an idiot or, you know, whatever. I'm not even gonna go there. But the other dads, there's one other guy at school that picks up his kids, and the European guy drives an RX-8, and I hate that car, and there's 100 reasons why. That stupid third door that folds open backwards, what is that all about? But anyhow, it's even that bright canary yellow, so I said I was gonna stop, but I didn't. But when you pull up in an FRS that's lowered like mine, you know, with the body work, the carbon hood, the TRD exhaust, you're probably not going to be very popular. Because for most of the guys, for sure, that are picking up their kids and their, you know, their pickups and their SUVs, damn these SUVs, there's so many SUVs. You know what they're thinking. They're thinking, I wish I was driving that. You know what? Maybe I don't hate it. Deal with it.